Hi, this is Jeffrey again. I hope you enjoyed drawing the last character from our story A Tale for Christmas, Zach's Quest. Today we're going to learn to draw Angie, the female elf lead character. Okay, now we're going to jump into Angie, the female lead of our story. I kind of want to do a little bit of a cuter picture because she is sort of that way. So I kind of want to do something a little bit more, representative of her. I think I'm going to sort of just get the rough elements. And again, like I said before, don't be afraid to just do only what's necessary. Don't be intimidated by all the fancy lines that you see in the final, because that's really not what it's about. It's about getting it as close as you can get it to feel right. So you kind of have to play with it a little bit sometimes. Like here, I'm gonna put her one foot over here, just sort of I think I'm gonna do something like this. And again, notice that I'm working with the whole thing sort of to try to get a feeling of where I want things to be, because I want her to be a little bit more cute. Obviously, she's got this, her best friend is Zach. I suppose you could say, or I guess you could say her puppy love sort of thing here. So I'm going to do is kind of rough in this area here where the hair is. I'm going to pull this down here like this to get the hair coming down. And again, you see how I'm just sort of kind of molding. It's almost like sculpting. I'm trying to sort of come up with a way to see it before I actually have to commit to a lot of really detail. I'm just saying like, okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with this. Let me put her elf ears in like that. And then I'm going to have it's going to have a cute little smile as well. Like that. So you have a little bit of a cheek. Going to have her little hair coming down there. I feel like now getting closer to where I'm going to be able to start to pull out the drawing. Sort of when I say pull it out, it means start to make it really come alive for me. I think I'm going to do this and have her shoulder come out a little bit here, like this. Okay. And again, this is just, I might maybe have it come up like that so that I can have her shoes. I hope this is reading well. Let me get a little elf shoes in here. Like this. She's much more delicate, and she's not as sort of clumsy-ish as Zach is. And again, like I said, this is sort of, we're going to probably refine the character as we get into the movie, as things start to unfold a little bit. You can kind of see where I'm going with it, though. Have her looking up. I'm going to have her like that. So now I'm going to go in and venture into the area of really starting to bring it to life. Make sure I got this working. Again, I always kind of go to the eyes, because if it works for me there, then I know it's going to work for me for the rest. It was sort of the first thing that I discovered when I was a young animator at Disney, was that if I could get the eyes to work, then it would really be easier for me to sort of do the rest. And again, I'm going to adjust things. So it doesn't mean as I start to pull it together, things change. As I start to see it, because it's sort of like you take a bunch of clay and you put it there and you just sort of wad it up, and then you start to take away and you start to add. And you start to sort of build it. I want to get her eyelashes in there so you can kind of see. And she has to be real for you. The characters that you draw, they need to really be they have to be alive for you, is what I'm trying to say. There, she's starting to come together. Here, start to pull different areas that I want to get to happen. She sort of has, this is sort of a technique I try to use when it's as if I want to imply that maybe they're cutting hair with scissors or something. I'll try to do sort of a rough square off at the end there. But since they are the same, in the same universe, so to speak, you know, the characters are going to have similar style. We have to pick a drawing style that's going to work together for everybody. So there'll be some of the symbols that I use on all the characters will be sort of the same approach, like the folds here and things like that. Let me get her shoulder coming down here. I'll put that little sleeve like this. Now what you can't see is there's a little, she has a little belt, but I'll sort of imply it by having it there. It would be normally hanging down here. I might still put it in there. She's looking kind of cute anyways. Let me pull that. And it'll come back up here like this. There we go. Yep, she's starting to come together. Give her a little bit cute cheeks. I'm going to have her hands are going to be a little bit more delicate, even though I kind of roughed them in, because I want her to be a little bit more sensitive in her, the way she is. Doesn't have so much clumsy hands or sort of big clumsy hands as Zach does. Let me do this. I think I'm going to do is actually put a little bit of a fold here, just so I have that. I'm going to come out here for the skirt. I'm going to pull this back up. I think I might put the ends of the tassels in here anyway, so we can see that they're underneath there. And let me get her a little, she's got these little sort of warm stockings that she wears. Again, I'm using these overlapping techniques to try to create as much shape as I can. Go down to the heel. Go up, like we did before on Zach, because they are made of the same place, they're in the same universe. I'm going to cut across there. Get these little furry thing on here. And there we go. Pretty close. Let me just get some of this out of there. Start working with pulling this out a little bit. And make this one thing little. I don't know why, but I like to give her a little tear duct there sometimes. I think it's kind of cute. Nice dark eyes. The fact is that Angie is actually modeled after a certain special somebody that the author knows. And that was his daughter, Angelina. So there was a little bit of an influence there, which made it a lot easier to design and come up with an approach. But it's always good to base it on somebody that you're familiar with anyways. I think that's something that I learned from my mentor who worked on Pinocchio, and when he animated the little cat Figaro, he told me that it was based on his nephew at the time. And so he was watching his nephew at Christmas time and watching him do all these little funny little acts, and he based the little cat on his personality, which I thought was really interesting. So the next time you look at Pinocchio and you see that little Figaro cat get all frustrated at the Pinocchio, Just imagine a little boy who's just 8 years old. It's kind of an interesting thing to think about sometimes. If you can get into learning a little bit about behind what the artists are thinking of, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there. But I think it helps bring the character to life more too. I think it gives a little bit more authenticity behind the process of creating a story like A Tale for Christmas. There she is. That's Angie. I hope you enjoyed learning to draw this character, and please be sure to check out the other lessons in this series. Merry Christmas!